Right, here at Menangle on my way through to Queensland, and that's for the Sunshine Stars for Nutrien and Albion Park. Catching up with a young man, Will Rixon. Firstly, welcome, Will.
Thanks, Paul.
Thank you very much for joining me. You had a pretty good year last year. I thought, well, wouldn't mind catching up, just find out a little bit more about you. Junior driver or concession driver of the year for 2023. Good thrill.
Yeah, it was a bit of a surprise. Just had a really good support last year, and just things sort of snowboarded from there. And it definitely was a big thrill. And hopefully we can have another good year this year.
How many winners?
160 I ended up with. So
that's a big effort.
Yeah, no, it was good.
And did that just come out of the blue like the year before? How many would you have had the year before?
Yeah, it sort of did. I had 80 the year before, but I did 3 months in Queensland. And to be honest, I think that was one of the best things that happened for me, because just got me out of my comfort zone and drove some, in better races up there and different horses, different racing style. And I just felt as though once I got home after 3 months up there, I was a bit more mature, as being away from home, and it just improved a bit. And the December of the year before, the Inter-Dominion series was on in Victoria.
Yep. And
a few of the boys were away, and I had a really good December, so I was sort of hoping that would give me a bit of a kick along into 2023, and it worked out that way.
How old are you, mate?
23.
Driving since you were 16?
Yep.
Yep. And it's always been in the blood to do it?
Oh, yeah, I was never going to do anything else. Obviously all the Turnbulls and Dad's obviously always done it, and Mum and Dad both always been very successful at it, and I was always mad on it.
And the sister now?
Yeah, both. Ellen sort of got out of it a little bit. We've gone other ways, but also always had an interest in the sport and did really well when she was driving, a bit younger. And still loves the horses, and Hannah's doing really good things and got her claim and going well with it as well, so it's good.
Yeah, no, it is good. There's the family background, and you mentioned Turnbulls and things like that, and you got to be so careful, especially when you're in New South Wales, who you mention sometimes, because everyone's related, or if they're not related, they're great friends. And you're going to get a bloke like Jack Butler in Queensland, and he's no relation, but he's actually a relation as well. Like, it can be good. Must be really cool being in these sorts of environments. So, like, we don't have the numbers like you guys do in Victoria with big families.
Yeah, it is. It's gets a bit competitive at times, like always racing against each other, and it's not unusual not to talk after a race or whatever. But we always get over it, and everyone's out there doing their best. And we're lucky that they're all good. It's a good family, and we're all happy for each other to do well. So it's definitely a benefit, I think.
Remember when you first got on a horse?
I remember my first fast work drive. It was actually for Chris Frisbee. I used to sort of jet off everywhere in holidays, whether it be McCarthy's or always went to Bathurst, and always ended up at Chris Frisbee's one day. And I used to always just warm up and then hand the reins over, and after warming up one day I just went to hand the reins over to him, and he said, I can't repeat what he said, but he said, you stay on it. And I think I was 11, and that from there on in we sort of didn't stop.
Were you hooked then? Was that like, obviously it would have been a nice horse to drive, probably an old horse, probably you got plenty of runs on the board, but plenty of wins, but was that it? You were hooked then?
I was probably hooked before, to be honest. So I was doing the mini trots, and I was about 8 when Divisive won the Miracle Mile for Dad, and from there on in, I was always hooked. But once I drove the fast work, I wasn't as keen on the mini trotters then, because they obviously go a bit quicker.
What did Dad say when you come home and you said you'd had a fast work? What did he say then?
Yeah, he was a bit surprised, but he probably wasn't too surprised that it was at Chris Frisbee's, because it's just a bit him. He's pretty funny like that. But once I got home, I was pretty keen to start driving track work for him then.
I think that's one of the things. I think now they can't do it with the rules and regulations, but I think it's something they need to be aware of, because you cut your teeth when you're young, really, in this game, and you get that love of it, and you can't lose it. You go to school and your mates might talk motorbikes, and you're like, you don't care. That's one of the things we need to be able to keep now and try and continue to grow it in that way. You said you took off to Queensland. I think you've been to Victoria a few times as well. Do you enjoy the travelling?
Yeah, I haven't done probably as much travelling as maybe I would have liked. I had an opportunity to travel a little bit last year, and I chose to stay home with sort of busy nights here at home, which I think's definitely benefited me last year, which tried to get myself a bit more established. So hopefully, if the opportunity comes this year to to go to different states for bigger races, I'll take that in both hands.
You said there before about the different racing style and that at Albion Park. I mean, it's a little bit Americanish, I suppose, because a lot of the guys have been to America, and it's pretty relentless. They tend to not sit up, and then you said how that helped you here. That's what Menangle's like, but on a bigger scale, if you like, as far as the track goes. And that, is that where you'd say it probably helped you? Yeah,
Menangle's a tricky one. I feel like it takes a fair bit to get used to, and obviously it all comes down to what you're driving as well. The cattle is very important, but Menangle's tricky to track to get used to. It's funny, you can go too slow and get beat, or you can also go too quick and get beat, but once you get yourself confident to race in here, and I've been lucky, I've been able to race here every week since I was 16, 17, so, but it probably took a fair while to fit in, so to say, to get the confidence to get the good results here. But yeah, everywhere's different, and I think at Menangle and probably everywhere you go, you do form on the horses, but it's also who, the different drivers you get to race against. You sort of get to know how they like to drive their horses as well. Oh yeah,
I interviewed Cam Hart 12 months ago, actually, a Miracle Mile night. I just said to him, what's one trick to this track? Because, no one seems to drive it better than what he does at the minute. He just went 53 or something like that. And he said, you just can't be wide on the last turn. And sometimes people tell you things and you watch them and you think the next 4 or 5 drives, they're wide on the home turn. Probably out of 100, he's probably 5 times he's wide on that last turn. He knows how to drive, he knows how to play this track, doesn't he? Yeah, and same thing for him. He moved at a young age, and it probably took him a little bit to work that out. But it's a funny track because it looks easy watching. Probably, it looks like everyone finds their spot, pulls out top of the straight, and that's it. But it's a lot more to it to get your horse over the line here. But yeah, that's a good point probably from Cam. What are your goals, mate? What are your ambitions? Hopefully just keep improving is the main one. Keep trying to get good opportunities and make the most of it. But I'd love to finish up there again in the premiership this year and try and get the good numbers again and get over 100 again and things like that. But whatever, I'm getting good opportunities from good trainers and owners. I'm pretty happy with that. Do you admire the likes of Cam, where he's travelling, going to New Zealand, winning races over there, getting put on horses for Mark Purdens and those as well, not just driving, the established horses, people over there are throwing him on horses and he's winning on those as well, and so it must whet the appetite for you guys, especially when you're so close to him. Yeah, it's been a bit of a thrill for us all, to be honest, because we're pretty lucky. Obviously on the track it's business, and we've had plenty of times where we've butted heads on a track, but we like to all get away when we can. It's a busy schedule, and then we like to go away when we can, and to see him do what he's done is it's been a thrill, not only just for him but all of us, because he's see how hard he works with his driving, and for all of them. Jack's the same. Jack Halligan's done some great things, and we're all pretty lucky that we're a good group of mates, and if one of us can have a good night or have success like that, we're all pretty happy for each other. Yeah, no, it is good, and you seem like you're the one thing I don't like, you're all good-looking roosters. You've got hair, you all seem to have gel in the hair and everything like that. That's the days gone by for me, but do you have a competition to see who can style it up the most when you're in the driver's seat? Well, not anymore, because Jack Halligan went and dyed his hair blonde. I can't believe you're bringing that up. So when he went the blonde look, we sort of thought, well, geez, no one's going to look more wary than that. He reminds me of a Lamington when I looked at him. Yeah, well, we sort of M&M we sort of go with, but we thought it was a bit of a phase when we were away on holidays, but he reckons he's getting it done again and sticking with it for a fair while, so if he's happy, well, good on him. I threatened him, if he puts that hair dye in, he'll end up looking like me, and I reckon that might have woke him up a bit. He might have got a bit of a fright over it. Yeah, well, if he was going to lose his hair, I'm pretty sure he'd be pretty quick to go and buy a new set, because they spend a lot of time when there's a mirror in the driver's room there, and between him and Cam, they spend a fair bit of time between races looking in it. They must indeed. Mate, thank you. Congratulations. How are you tracking this year? You're on target, going okay this year as well? Yeah, pretty good first month. I think I got 6 winners last week, so that was good. And yep, I'm driving some nice horses at the moment. On a Saturday night, I'm getting backing from people like Emilio Rosario and a couple of people like that. So, can't complain. Hopefully can have a bit of luck coming into the carnival here. Well done, mate. I've got to let you go. You've got to drive in the next race, and I reckon they're starting to make their way out. But thank you very much for joining me. Keep doing what you're doing, young man, and doing a great job. And as I said, I'm on my way through to Queensland for the Sunshine Star sales, which is on this Sunday for Nutrien and for the Albion Park cruise. So thank you very much, mate, for giving me a bit of time, and we'll catch up with you again soon.
Yep, no worries.
Well done.
Thanks.